Samoa was a deaf empowerment officer. My role was to empower deaf adults and involve them in the program to make sure that they're going to leadership programs, being involved in the deaf community and trying to teach them some extra skills. Why I decided to volunteer was originally part of my uni degree. My degree was International Social Development, so that was involving the community development side of things. And then I realised that we were very lucky in Australia to have all these things and that other countries weren't the same. They didn't have what we had. So I thought it would be a good experience to broaden my knowledge and also support our neighbours. So before I applied, my initial concern was a normal concern, what a lot of people have when they're applying for things. Will I get it? Will I not? But really, Austraining were fantastic. They were really fine, very inclusive, and I was very lucky. I learnt a lot, and they also learned a lot, how to book interpreters and how to work with a deaf person. One of my key achievements of my experience in Samoa would be working with the women of the group. I really felt like I had a connection with them. I felt that I empowered them more than what I did with the men. I had a group of 25 people and only 2 of them were females. The other females thought they weren't allowed to go and they thought they better stay at home. So I think they had a big part of my role there. Also personally, I taught one of the females how to drive. She thought that she couldn't, firstly because she's deaf and secondly because she's a female, and just to see her face learning something new, that was wonderful to see. So my volunteering experience benefited in so many ways, both professionally and personally. Personally, it gave me a huge insight to how other deaf people in other countries live, how they manage their life, and how fortunate we are in Australia. We have access to so much and we definitely do take a lot for granted compared to other people. They're happy with any bit they can get there. I know here we still need to improve a few things, but professionally also I work with young adults, and my exposure now to Samoa has definitely helped me improve how to make sure I can match my skills with other people than just focusing on one target group. It's really broadened my knowledge on how to work with everyone, because everyone needs access no matter what their life experiences are. So the support I received from Austraining before I arrived in Samoa was providing an interpreter for a 3-day workshop. I had an interpreter also for the dinner so I could network with the other volunteers. Throughout my placement in Samoa, I didn't have a qualified interpreter, but I did use the staff that were available. My only requirements were to have an interpreter. I'm sure if I did need other things, Austraining definitely would have provided that for me.
We are more than happy to provide additional support to accommodate volunteers with disabilities. And this can stem across the recruitment, training and in-country phases. So during the recruitment stage, what we can do is look at providing any documents by email so they are compatible with screen reading software, and any other reasonable requests can generally be accommodated. During the training phase, when volunteers come together, we look at interpreters, identifying any mobility and access issues and working with the venue to accommodate those, and making sure that we can just work with the volunteers to meet their needs. And that carries over into the in-country. So looking at interpreters again, working with the volunteers to identify and accommodate their needs, and particularly working with host organisations and the workplace, identifying any issues there and then working with them to overcome them. Some examples would be ramps and possibly rearranging the office for someone with a visual impairment. So the basic message is that we will work with a volunteer to help identify anything that we can do to help them become a volunteer.
So advice would be just to go for it, just do it. If you have any requirements, don't be afraid to ask. to make sure you get all the access you can get. Oz Training will definitely do what they can to provide equality.